The Oaks split the first 2 games of a 4-game set with the MLB Academy Barons, looking to try and make a late run to get into the playoffs. It's the business end of the season, folks. Oaks really need to get going here. Can't afford to lose too many more ball games. Jack Holland's on the mound for the Oaks. First man to greet him is the shortstop for the Barons, Anthony Bassett. Holland into the windup. Fires in a first pitch strike, and we're underway. Holland's 0-1. Breaking ball at the back foot. Misses low. Yesterday was a bit of a heartbreaker for the Oaks. It was a back and forth ball game, one that they really needed and weren't able to shut the door on the Barons. Barons came back and won 7-6. Holland's 1-1. Upstairs, 2-1. Defense behind Jack Holland. Brendan Durfee completing the battery as usual. Dylan Jackson at first, Carson Falskin at second as Jackson delivers home a 2-1 just a bit outside, 3-1. Zach Daudet, a couple days in a row in the lineup at short. Nick Leehey at third. And from left to right, Austin Carrillo, Mac Moyer, and Chris Wright. 3-1 count. Last thing Holland wants to do is give up a walk to the leadoff man. The 3-1. Chopped over into the hole. Backhand by Daudet. He makes a Derek Jeter-esque play, but unable to beat Bassett. It's a tough play all around for Zach Daudet, and that'll go down as an infield single.
Second baseman, number 1, Amaya Neighbors.
Not much Zach Daudet could have done with that. Leehey either gave it a valiant effort. Got past all of them. It's that 5-6 hole, didn't quite get into the outfield. Tony Gwynn would have been proud of that one. That brings up Kamayu Neighbors. Neighbors leads the Barons in batting average. Holland's first pitch, slapped the other way, and the first 2 men on reach via the single for the Barons. We saw this in yesterday's ball game too. The Barons got off to a real quick start, 3 runs in the first. They're trying to replicate that once again. The catcher, Alex Laureano, now up. We saw Laureano on Tuesday here at Sparky Anderson Field. Holland looks over, delivers a first pitch strike right at the knees.
Yeah, Sammy, on Tuesday, Laureano was behind the dish. He wasn't behind the dish or playing at all in Wednesday's game down in Compton, but really impressive catcher that Laureano is. A great arm. We saw a couple times where he just was beaten by a slow delivery from his pitcher, but made a lot of talented throws without even getting up out of his squat. Was starting from his knees a couple times, but it'll be fun to watch him again defensively today. And you mentioned obviously yesterday being a heartbreaker. It's again that 8th inning that was the nightmare inning for the Oaks, and against the Barons, you want to ideally win these next 2. The Barons have struggled heavily all summer long, only 5 total wins.
As Holland gets a strikeout on the slider for his first out of the inning.
As I was saying, you need to take advantage of these last 2 against the Barons. We get the Barons one more time, the very last game of the season, but then following a non-league contest on Sunday, we have 4 straight against the Santa Barbara Foresters, who last night just threw a combined no-hitter against the Rosecco Saints. So obviously, Sammy, we know that the Oaks currently 1 game back of a playoff spot. These next 2 really would be important ones to win, and then obviously you have to try and best the Foresters somehow.
Really got to do some scoreboard watching, make sure that the Blues don't get too far ahead of the Oaks. Currently, the Blues are half a game ahead. Not too many games left. Last 2 weeks of the season. Alonso Zuniga is at the dish, designated hitter today for the Barons. He's ahead 1-0. Holland comes home. Lined, foul. .97 miles an hour on the exit velocity off of Zuniga's bat. Well foul. Oh, Wes Delatorre having to go and get that ball as it trickled into fair territory. One from Holland in the dirt, and it gets past Brendan Durfee, and both runners will advance. Bassett takes a turn around third and just takes a look in, but he retreats back. Second and third now for Alonso Zuniga. The Blues got the Saints for 2 games before they take on the Barons for 2. So it's a very important. For the Oaks to win out.
It's a fortunate situation for us. I mean, obviously the Saints are going to be very hungry after getting no hit last night, and they're going to want to bounce back and try and take advantage of playing the Blues, who have a better record than this season. But we know the Blues are capable of winning ball games. They've beat the Foresters a couple times already this summer, and the Foresters are one of the toughest tests in the CCL. Obviously, nobody tougher than the Packers, who are like 35-3, including non-CCL games this summer, and are going to be a tough contest come the championship game, presuming they make it there.
Chopper to Daudet, 1 run will score, throws over to first and gets Zuniga easily, but it's a productive out, and the wild pitch from Holland looms large, as that could have been a double play ball with Zuniga running, not the fleetest of foot. Could have been a very good double play candidate. But the Barons strike first, as they did yesterday. Wednesday, I'm sorry. No game yesterday. And it brings up Jacob Klinowski. Klinowski, a regular in this Barons lineup, 284 average, 353 on base percentage.
Right there, we just saw Neighbors get about a third of the way down the line until Durfee stood up out of the catcher position and just looked him back.
First pitch to Klinowski misses high for ball 1. That one's on the outside corner for strike 1. Holland evens up the count. Klinowski, one of the big RBI men for the Barons, 13 on the summer. That's good enough for second place on the Barons. Holland set at the belt, the 1-1. Upstairs, 2-1. Neighbors at third. Holland comes home. 2-2. Two and 2 to Jacob Klinowski. Holland set. Comes home. Misses up and the count runs full. Klinowski steps out of the box. Really trying to lock into this situation. Trying to get one more run across here for the Barons. The 3-2. Popped up. Leehey drifting on the outfield grass. Squeezes it. And that'll retire the side. Not before 2 hits for the Barons, and 1 run comes across on the Alonso Zuniga ground out. We'll head to the bottom of the first. We'll let you know all about the starting lineup for your Oaks. We are back. Bottom of the first, Mac Moyer leading off. Austin Carrillo after him. Brendan Durfee hitting third. Chris Wright, the cleanup man. First pitch from Hamro of the Barons. Misses up, and away for ball 1. After Chris Wright, Zach Daudet, shortstop. Eli Paton doing the designated hitting duties tonight. Nick Leehey, Dylan Jackson, and Carson Falskin rounding out the lineup. Hamro's second pitch misses away as well. 2-0 now. Important for Mac Moyer to get on here. Try and get that run back. And a hitter's count to do so. 2-0. Slapped foul. Carson Hamro, 11 2/3 innings on the year. 8 earned runs, 2 unearned. That's a 6.17 ERA, allowing a 351 on base percentage to the opponents. The 2-1 misses away 3-1. Very unconventional delivery for Hamro. Moyer had 3-1, looking to get on any way he can. He's been doing that a lot this summer. Fouls that one off, and the count runs full. Moyer leads the Oaks in batting average. At a .330 clip. And having a lot of multi-hit games as of late. The 3-2. Up the middle, and that'll be a base hit for the Oaks. Just got under the glove of Hamro. Hamro, big frame. Don't have the roster in front of me, but he's got to be north of 6'4", if I had to guess.
I believe he's 6'6", if I remember seeing the roster
Oh
correctly.
man, am I right? Or am I right or am I right? I said north of 6'4". Beautiful, beautiful, absolutely beautiful. That'll bring up Austin Carrillo. Moyer's on the move. The ball gets past Laureano. The shortstop Bassett did a good job of drawing a slide from Moyer, and he was unable to see that it went to the backstop. While Moyer leads the Oaks in batting average, Austin Carrillo is tied for the team lead in on-base percentage with Zach Schwartzberg at a .390 clip. Pretty good numbers for Carrillo, getting that on-base percentage to .390 with a .238 average. That just tells you that he draws a lot of walks. Leads the team in drawing walks, 16 on the summer, along with 5 hit by pitches.
Always great on-base percentage numbers for Carrillo.
Carrillo shows bunt. That one gets past Laureano, something we did not see on Tuesday. Laureano was a brick wall behind the plate. 2 balls getting past him, and Mac Moyer is now on third. Tying run 90 feet away. Carrillo in a 3-0 hitters count this early in the game. I wouldn't be surprised if Austin Carrillo has the green light. The infield is back. Anything up the middle surely scores a run. Hammer comes home. Gets a call on the outside corner. That was a pitcher's pitch right there for Carson Hamro, and there's not a count where that's not a good pitch. Right, painting low and outside. Unable to do the same here, and Austin Carrillo draws the walk. 17 now on the summer. That brings up Brendan Durfee. There was a point in the summer where Brendan Durfee really put the team on his back and was carrying the team. The average was up as high as 370, but it's dipped a bit, under 300 now. Still a big RBI guy for the Oaks. Second on the team. Oh, I'm sorry, fourth on the team with 12. Looking to get that up to 13 here. Trying to drive in Moyer and tie up this ball game. Carrillo, no lead off of first. Durfee throws the hand up to him, letting him know to stay put as that ball didn't get far enough away from Laureano to advance to second. Runners on the corners. Carson Hamro, after getting a run before he stepped on the mound, back up against the wall here. The 1-0 pitch. Carrillo's on the move. Pitch is low, and Laureano doesn't even have a play. Mirrored situations here in the first inning. First 2 men get on, and they both end up second and third for the number 3 hitter.
And Sammy, we're seeing a completely different situation than we saw on Tuesday for Laureano defensively. On Tuesday, the reason why he wasn't really able to throw guys out was because the delivery of his pitcher was so slow. Today, his pitcher is just throwing everything down in the dirt, so it's impossible for him to try and make a play.
The 2-0 to Durfee. That one's in the dirt. Hammer really in danger here. He kicks the mound. It's a little uncomfortable. Laureano goes out to talk to him, and Barron's head coach Kenny Landro is going out to talk with the umpire. He's pointing at the mound, maybe that he's letting the home plate umpire know that the mound is not up to standards. Coach Dave Solis also coming out, and the umpire may be having a word with him. Coach Solis looks towards the press box. There's going to be a umpire conference, it looks like.
Tell you that a pitcher complaining about the mound will not be warmly received by the Cowboy coaching staff that works very hard to maintain this field.
Third base coach Parker having a few words with the umpire too. Looks like there is going to be someone coming out to try and fix the mound. Coach Solis back out, go and talk with the umpires. Second and third right now after, if you're just joining us, the Barons put one across in the top of the first. Anthony Bassett got a single, followed by Kamayu Neighbors. A wild pitch moved both runners over to third. Alex Laureano struck out. Then the cleanup man, Alonso Zuniga, hit a high chopper to Zach Daudet at short. 1 run scored, and it was nothing after that. A Jacob Konofsky pop-up. Mac Moyer led off the game with a single for the Oaks. Austin Carrillo followed that up with a 5-pitch walk. Brendan Durfee right now ahead of the count 3-0 as the grounds crew here at Kowloon is trying to fix the mound to the pitcher Carson Hamro's liking. Putting some fresh dirt on it. There is a big chunk on the mound. It's like mud. One of the grounds crew members puts it in his bucket. Just a little delay here. Some more fresh dirt being applied, raking it in. And for Hamro, he did look a little bit uncomfortable. Both the first 3 hitters getting to 3-ball counts. The command has looked a little off, and there's been several times where he's really kicked the mound in frustration. First time we've seen something like this all summer.
Yeah.
The mound is freshly done. Hammer will take a couple of warm-up pitches just to make sure it's to his liking. The grounds crew not going too far to see if they have to keep on going. There's some chirping going on in the Oaks dugout, and the umpire just lets everyone know, let's cut that out right now. Looks like it's up to Hamro's high standards, and we're just about ready to resume play. Long delay. We were in the middle of an at-bat, 3-0 to Brendan Durfee. And Hamro did not get much warm-up pitches. We'll see if his arm cooled off a little bit. The 3-0, and it misses outside.
Maybe the mound wasn't the issue.
Some noise coming out of the Oaks dugout. So I'm sure most people weren't happy that the game got delayed for such a long time, only for Hamro to still walk Brendan Durfee. Loads up the bases for Chris Wright. Wright, the cleanup man today, moves one spot up in the lineup with the absence of Zach Schwartzberg in the lineup. Looks at a first pitch strike. Wright, the home run and RBI leader for the Oaks, trying to add to his totals this summer. 16 RBIs for Chris Wright. Really looking for more. The 0-1 in the dirt. Good stop by Laureano. Keeps it right at his feet. 1-1. Nowhere to put Wright. 2 walks already issued by Carson Hamrow. Staying in the stretch. Sometimes when pitchers have the bases loaded, they'll choose to go out of the windup. Not Hamrow. The 1-1. That one misses outside and gets away from Laureano. Mac Moyer scores easily, and the Oaks tie up the ballgame on the wild pitch. Hamrow really having trouble finding the strike zone.
And obviously, Sammy, it's not sure if it's just the heat getting to him today, or maybe he's just totally off his game for Hamrow, but really, really struggling command-wise. I don't know if we've seen a pitcher this summer struggle this much with their command.
Some trouble going on downstairs with the scoreboard.
Oh.
3-1 count now to Chris Wright.
First day back for J-Dub, a little bit of jitters down there.
Chris Wright really in a hitter's count here. The pitch. And that misses up and away. It'll warrant a mound visit, and you got to believe that's the right call, as 3 straight walks. It's not what any pitching coach likes to see. Bases loaded once again, this time for Zach Daudet.
Sammy, if I'm not mistaken, obviously I'm not keeping my scorebook today, but I'm pretty positive Mac Moyer was in a 2-strike count in the first at bat for the Oaks here, and then he shot a single back up the middle. And then since then, there's been really no contest in terms of strikes. There's 3 straight free passes issued, and see how quickly the Barons are going to have to go to their bullpen here.
0 swings and misses for Carson Hamrow, as Moyer got in a 2-strike count off of 2 foul balls. Don't be surprised if Zach Daudet goes after the first pitch here after the mound visit. Obviously, Hamrow needs to start throwing strikes, and he's probably going to get real aggressive at the mound. Pitch. That one runs inside, nearly taking the hands off of Zach Daudet.
I mean, if Daudet gets a good pitch to swing at here, big opportunity for him. We know it's not been a summer like last for Daudet, but he can contribute when the time presents itself.
Daudet chops one foul, just wide of the bag. A diving play by Andrew Ramirez, the third baseman. The ball was foul. 1-1. That would have scored Carrillo if the ball was fair. One and 1 to Zach Daudet. Hamrow really needs to find an out here. That one misses up. 2-1.
And to find the strike zone in order to be able to do that.
Two and 1 to Zach Daudet. Nowhere to put him. The pitch on the outside corner. 2-2 now. Welcome on Connor Mullen.
Hello, lads. How's it going?
Doing good, doing good. Are they trying to get a hit here? The 2-2. fouled off. And Connor, thank you for joining us.
Absolutely.
We like to have a 3-man booth usually, and of course with our
Joshy boy.
Joshy 21st birthday weekend out in a boot.
On the boot. You gotta respect it though for the
you
young
love
man.
it. Yeah, absolutely. Hope he's having a grand old time in Texas. The 2-2 to Zach Daudet, taking a while for Hammer to come home. Finally does. That one misses up and in, and the count runs full.
This guy's been kind of all over the place, huh?
Everywhere but the strike zone. He's missed up, he's missed down, he's missed in, he's missed out. 3 straight walks. Does not want to make it 4. The 3-2. And Daudet lines it foul. A nice hop from Austin Carrillo to avoid the ball making contact with his shins.
That was a good spoil by Daudet.
Carson Hamro for the Barons, really up against it here. A leadoff single by Mac Moyer, followed by 3 straight walks. Score is 1-1. The 3-2 to Daudet, and that one misses away. 4 straight walks, and it forces a run home. It's about the easiest RBI that Zach Daudet will have throughout his baseball career. And the bases remain loaded for Eli Paton.
This will officially start to get some action going down in the Barons bullpen.
Nobody in that bullpen expected to get up so quick. Just a couple guys started stretching out. It looks like they're getting a southpaw going. Peyton goes after the first one, chops it slowly to the first baseman, Mark Anthony Hernandez. He'll go to the bag for 1 and only 1. It's an RBI ground out for Eli Paton. A productive out.
Would like to see a little patience there. Walk the last 4 guys. You know, maybe see one, make him beat you. But still a productive out, drives in a run. Well, the Oaks will take it.
3-1. The score now as Nick Leehey steps up to the plate. The infield comes in for the Barons. First pitch, up and in. I believe that's Jimmy Welcher down there warming up for the Barons. We saw him on Tuesday's ball game. Did a good job of getting some innings for the Barons. Limited damage too, if I remember correctly. 2-0 count now to Leehey.
Yeah, he pitched pretty well. That was the first game of the series, yeah.
Yep.
He pitched extremely well.
Nick Leehey in the driver's seat. The 2-0. Goes after it, fouls it back.
I think Welcher actually came in after the Oaks had scored in each of the first, I want to say 5 or 6 innings of Tuesday's contest, and then he put up back-to-back zeros.
The 2-1 to Nick Leehey. And that one nearly got the elbow. 3-1 now.
I mean, at some point, we got to make an adjustment. If we're for the pitcher here, we're flying open, we're missing in. Got to make an adjustment to fill up the strike zone here.
Carson Hamro in danger of walking his 5th batter of the inning and does just that. If Nick Leehey didn't get out of the way there, that would have gotten the ear flap on the helmet. 5 walks.
If you look, his arm's not in sync. His front shoulder flies open. That creates his arm to be late, and that's why Hamro's struggling, missing up and in to everybody. I mean, all of his misses have been in and in. You'd think he yanked a fastball, I think, to Daudet as well. But everything's been up and in.
Bases loaded once again, this time for Dylan Jackson. Jackson goes after the first one into the Oaks dugout. Charlie Adamson up quick, trying to make a play. Unfortunately, unable to make the barehanded stab.
And we've seen,
Hate to see it.
since they fixed that mound, Hammer was missing everything down in the dirt. And now he's, as Connor mentioned, running everything high and inside.
Jackson laces
Okay.
one down the left field line. 2 runs will score easily. Leehey rounding third. He's coming home, and it's a bases clearing double for Dylan Jackson.
The ball was smoked. He got a fastball in the inner half there, and he just hooked it past into the 5-6 hole. But I don't know where the left fielder was playing. It beat him to the wall. Ball was hit extremely hard. If we can get him an exit velo out of camera deck.
95 on the exit velocity as Coach Kenny Landreau makes the motion down to the pen. And just a nightmare of an outing for Carson Hamro, only able to get 1 out. 6 earned runs on only 2 hits, and he's still on the hook for Dylan Jackson, who will be at second. Looks like it is going to be the southpaw Jimmy Welcher out of Orange Coast College. When we come back, Oaks leading 6-1. Carson Falskin, first one to greet Welcher. First pitch to Carson Falskin is a strike. First time an Oak has seen a first pitch called strike. Only took the 9th batter. Dylan Jackson on second. Still only 1 out in the inning, so the Oaks will guarantee at least 10 batters here in the first inning, unless Carson Falskin laces one up the middle and the second baseman is able to make a stab and step on the bag for a double play. Surely me speaking that into existence will not make it happen. The 0-1 from Welcher. Falskin pops it up, drifting back. Laureano running out of room, and he does. Bounce into the visiting bleachers. 0-2 count. First time that a Barons pitcher has gotten an 0-2 count today.
I like what Welcher's done. He's come in, filled up the strike zone, giving his defense a chance. Can't defend a walk, Sammy.
No, 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 no. Welsher comes home with an 0-2. Falskin lifts it into the air. Drifting behind second base is Kamau Neighbors to make the catch. Second out of the inning. And now Mac Moyer coming up. We've really seen a lot of success from Moyer as of late. A lot of multi-hit games, and he has a chance to get another multi-hit game only here in the first inning. Six runs on the board as of now for the Oaks. Welsher, an inside move. Nobody covering the bag. Could be Welsher just wants to change up the signs at the plate. The first pitch to Moyer. Breaking ball rolled over to third. Hernandez unable to make the play. Neighbors does a good job of backing up his first baseman, and that prevents a run. It's an error on Hernandez. Went for the backhand there instead of trying to just body it up. And with the absolute nightmare of an inning, 6 runs coming across on only 2 hits for the Oaks, the last thing the Barons want to do is start playing sloppy defense.
Left fielder number 4, Austin Carrillo.
That'll extend the inning for Austin Carrillo.
The youngster sitting next to me told me it was ruled a hit.
It's a tough play.
No chance. That breaking ball's in the dirt. Moyer was on the move, and Welsher did a really good job of getting to cover home quick. Dylan Jackson didn't get the best jump and didn't want to risk it. Wants to give Austin Carrillo a chance to drive him in. Looks like that was changed to a hit downstairs.
I can tell you exactly why that was changed to a hit.
Why is that?
Well, so
Backhanded play?
backhand play, it's a wicked hop coming off the lip there from the grass to the dirt. Bounced really high up above his head. Usually it bounces straight to your chest. But, you know, up above his head really took off on him. So it's tough play, sneaky play.
Fine by me. Gets our boy a hit. Mac Moyer, another multi-hit day. I love it.
A little bit of home cooking.
I love it.
Everybody loves home
Yeah,
cooking.
you gotta have a little bit of home cooking. Cook the books. Nobody's the wiser for it. Welsher's 1-1. Breaking ball. Carrillo pulls into left field. The right fielder Klonowski, no chance at getting to that ball. And it's a 2-run, 2-out double for Austin Carrillo. 8 runs now for the Oaks.
There's an excellent inning put together by the Oaks. Seeing pitches, battling at the plate when we get to 2 strikes, extending it, getting to the next guy, and then driving in runs when we get to up in the count.
Seven runs scored in yesterday's ball game. The Oaks have already surpassed that total today. Scoring 7 runs in a ball game is nothing to sneeze at. But when you put up an 8 spot in the first inning, that's certainly a sign of a ball game that is most likely going to be an Oaks win. Brendan Durfee goes after the first pitch and skies it into center field. Center fielder Boyd getting under it, and the inning finally comes to an end. 12 batters coming up for the Oaks. 8 runs on 4 hits. The end of 1. Holland's still out there for the Oaks. Only took about 48 minutes for the first inning to end. Jack Holland still on the mound for the Oaks. Gets a first pitch strike versus the number 6 hitter, Max Diaz. 8 runs coming across last inning for the Oaks, and for the Barons, got about 8 innings to work with. It all starts with getting the leadoff man on. That's not going to happen as Nick Leehey makes a strong throw over to first to record the first out of the inning.
It's exactly what you want to see out of Holland after a long inning sitting on the bench. You can kind of get cold over there, but he comes in, first pitch strike, then he gets a nice roll over to third base. Nick Leehey makes a great play. Exactly what you want to see coming out of after a long inning.
It'll bring up the center fielder, Julian Boyd. First pitch to Boyd, misses up around the eyes for ball 1. Boyd out of Colorado Mesa University. Can't say that I'm really familiar with that school. Cam says he is. He has a buddy that goes there. Grand Junction. Very good D2 school, Cameron says. The 2-0. Slapped foul, 2-1.
Sammy, would you say that that is red wrist tape, or is that a pink? Is that a pink that we got going on there?
It's got to be a pink. It's got to be a pink. I can see from here. I can. Out in Compton, I couldn't see that the pitcher was rocking a pink glove, but you can see that from here. A lot closer. Got a better angle at it. The sun not messing around as much.
So do you think that's a personal thing, or do you think that's for the Barbie premiere that is today?
It's a good shout right there. Could be from Boyd. No promotion. As he slaps another one foul, and the count runs full. Definitely the hottest thing going around right now. Barbenheimer. Gonna be watching. Most people gonna be watching both. Some people not quite gonna be watching both. Have to make a tough choice. Do I watch Barbie or do I watch Oppenheimer? 3-2 from Holland is in the dirt, and Boyd draws a 1-out walk.
First baseman number 16, Mark Anthony Hernandez.
Well, boys, what's the choice? Barbie or Oppenheimer?
Can only pick one.
Well, Austin, you're going to be watching too with that. You're going to be watching both, I take it?
Yeah, why not?
I don't know. We don't have much time to watch movies with this job unless you're going to do a double feature on Monday.
Can do it on Monday.
So I'm going on Wednesday to see Barbie.
Okay.
And then Sunday evening, this Sunday, I'm going to see Oppenheimer.
Both of them at the Studio Movie Grill?
That could be the case. No free ads, though. Actually, no. So we're going to a Regal because we want to see it in the IMAX, the Oppenheimers, because I heard that's the way to go.
Yeah.
So that's on Sunday.
Mark Anthony Hernandez, the first baseman, now at the dish. First pitch from Holland missed, and Hernandez ropes one in the left field for a base hit. 96 off the bat. A little bit of traffic allowed once again from Jack Holland. Allowed 2 base runners in the first inning. Doing the same here. Third hit allowed by Holland. First pitch, slapped foul with authority. Getting out of play. We taking the better half to go and see Barbie on Wednesday.
We are indeed. Yes. Yep. Color coordinated and everything.
You're gonna be wearing pink too?
Or
are you dressing up like Ken?
No. So I made the compromise.
I
said I'm not gonna wear a pink shirt. It's just not. I can't do that.
Yeah.
But I made I went and got some pink shorts that I could also wear for golf.
Oh,
That it was like
Okay.
a double.
Yeah, that's a W.
Yeah.
That's a W. 0-2 to Andrew Ramirez. Holland looks over at Boyd. Misses with the slider, 1-2. Austin, you cosplaying as well?
I was not planning on it.
Not getting into the spirit.
No feel. I was planning on wearing a suit to go see Oppenheimer.
Mm.
1-2 misses. 2-2 now.
Would you rock a fedora with said suit?
I could.
You could.
I could. It's not out of the cards. One, two to Andrew Ramirez. Spoils it and stays alive. Good piece of hitting right there from Ramirez just to get the bat out there and get himself another pitch. Holland shakes a few times. 2-2 count. Set at the belt, looks at Boyd, comes home.
In a way.
Foul tipped into the glove for out number 2.
Looks like he was just trying to spoil that pitch off,
Yeah,
but
exactly. Just trying to stay alive there. Expanded the strike zone a little bit, tried to foul it off. Foul tipped it, but into the glove. Second strikeout in as many innings for Jack Holland. You gotta wonder, does he have has he got the nickname of Dutch?
that's a good question. I like that question a lot. That is something that should be asked.
Oh, man, I think if no one's calling him that, I'm gonna call him that, just Dutch.
Dutch or the Dutchman?
I don't know about the Dutchman, but yeah, I think I just like Dutch.
All right. I can ask.
I have a friend back home. That's what he has a few nicknames. Dutch being one of them. The Doctor being another one. Mucho being another one. Man's chock full of nicknames. He's also one of the best man I've ever met at giving nicknames. Guy can just boom, just give him 10 minutes with you and he's got something for you.
That's a good skill to have.
Absolutely, it's elite.
Yeah.
It's elite. You need a guy like that too. Need a guy like that. 2-1. In on the hands. Bassett jammed, muscled it over to second base. Falskin fields it easily, throws over, and Holland, after allowing 2 runners, does not let one reach the plate. At the end of 1.5, Oaks still out on a commanding lead, 8-1. Chris Wright leading off the second for the Oaks. Looping breaking ball from Welsher in there for strike one.
I don't think that breaking ball can break glass. I'm going to be honest with you, Sam.
No, is not going to light up the radar gun by any means. He throws another one and gets Wright to pop up on the infield. Ramirez gets under it for out number one.
May not break glass, but it's effective. That's for sure.
Absolutely, a lot of break from the young man out of Orange Coast College. Another college that I'm afraid to say I'm not too familiar with.
I believe that's the OCC ad. That's like the very famous JUCO that's in Orange County. That the head coach passed away with.
Oh
yeah.
with he was with
Kobe Bryant.
Yep.
Yep. I believe that's the
Yeah.
same.
Yep. Zach Daudet in there, as Connor has to remind us all of a very somber day.
I don't know.
Brutal.
I mean,
Brutal. It had to happen. You had to bring it up. It's okay.
it was a very tragic day.
Just only one of the worst days of my life.
Sorry to hear that.
Terrible. 0-2 to Daudet. He disagreed with the first pitch strike call. Fouled off another one. And that breaking ball misses up. Ball one. Just figure with Welsher's looping breaking ball, someone's going to try to sit on it and try to bang a hanger over the fence. Daudet lifts one above the Barons dugout. It'll get out of play.
With that pitch, you just got to wait back just a little bit, try and hit it over the second baseman's head. You can kind of see where the right fielder's playing. They're expecting our hitters to do that. He's playing way right center field. Right field's completely open.
The 1-2. That one a little more straight. Daudet just a tad late, and it'll get out of play again. 1-2. We familiar with that phrase, Connor? Hang it, bang it?
Oh, absolutely. You hang it, we bang it. Yeah, that's a very
Absolutely.
common one.
Hanging breaking balls. That's something we've seen a lot of times taken advantage of. That breaking ball was just above the zone, and the count runs to 2-2. Daudet, like many of his teammates, walked his first time up. The 2-2. Off the end of the bat, Welsher generating weak contact once again. An underhanded flip to Mark Anthony Hernandez for the second out.
There's a player on this team from my neck of the woods, Nicholas Romanowski.
You familiar with him?
I am not familiar with him, unfortunately, but that is interesting to know.
A seamy boy. Eli Paton looks at a first pitch curveball. 65 miles an hour. The pitch, we usually see the velocities up on the scoreboard, but I don't know if they're not registering because of how hard Welsher throws or if it's just not on today.
I believe that it's not turned on today.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Brutal.
go with the second option.
Brutal. 0-2 count to Eli Paton. 2 curveballs for strikes thrown by Jimmy Welsher. Paton shoots one off the end of the bat right to Julian Boyd, the center fielder, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Jimmy Welsher. After 8 runs in the first, Jimmy Welsher greeted with a gang of high fives in the dugout, getting a 1-2-3 inning. Certainly something that'll put a smile on the Barons coaching staff. At the end of 2, the Oaks still ahead by 7 runs. Tamayo Neighbors leading off for the Barons. Neighbors, a hit back in the first.
Neighbors is a good ball player. Watched him in the showcase game, had 2 singles. Very impressive, very speedy, good contact hitter.
Very good bat to ball skills. One of the best you'll see in the CCL. He's ahead of the count 3-0. Not a guy that you really want to issue a free pass to with his speed. Stolen base numbers aren't through the roof as they were last summer for Neighbors. But the strikeout numbers still down. Less than 10 for Neighbors. His walks are outnumbering his strikeout by a rate of over 2. 3-1 count. Rolled over, Daudet waits on it, has to hurry, and beats him by about a half a step.
Too close for comfort there. You got to come get the
Yeah.
ball a little bit.
Especially with Neighbors.
And bring up Laureano. Laureano was a strikeout victim back in the first. Barron's just trying to stay in the ballgame. Muscles one off the head. That's a diving play by Nick Leehey, catching the ball before it hits the ground for out number 2. Leehey, as of late, really one that has been flashing the leather and gets a lot of oohs and ahs out of the dugout and out of the crowd.
Really good first step by Leehey. Ball wasn't hit extremely hard, but still had a range over to his right and really made a good play to catch that ball before it hit the ground. He's played an excellent third base the past couple games.
Really has been producing a lot of web gems, dare I say.
Da-na-na, da-na-na.
1-0 to Alonso Zuniga. Zuniga grounded out to Zach Daudet, but drove a run in. Takes a big hack from the Holland off-speed pitch and comes up empty. 1-1. Holland looking for his first 1-2-3 inning of the game.
Yep.
A breaking ball on the outside corner for strike 2. 1 strike away now. Holland a strikeout in each of the first 2 innings. Trying to close out the third with 1 here. The 1-2, and does just that. Another breaking ball gets a swing and a miss for Jack Holland. Starting to cruise a little bit now. Certainly like to see the game put in cruise control now. 8-1 heading into the bottom of the third. We are back for the bottom of the third. The smooth fielding Nick Leehey leading off for the Oaks. Oaks with a 7-run cushion right now. Jimmy Welsher still out there for the Barons. Nobody up in that bullpen either. So the Barons really hoping for some length that they couldn't get out of Carson Hamrow. 1-1 count. This is high, 2-1. The 2-1 Leehey popped up on the infield. Welsher gets out of the way, and Mark Anthony Hernandez comes in to make the catch. Barons throw around as that is now the
First base number 10, Dylan
5th straight set down by Jimmy Welsher. Dylan Jackson up, a 3-run double to his name. Mack in the first takes a big hack and comes up empty. The 0-1. Jackson gets out of the way, 1-1. Welsher set at the bat. Oh, Jackson pops one up. It'll get out of play.
Welsher's come in and just filled up the strike zone, something the Barons coaches probably love to see. Been really effective mixing in that breaking ball with that fastball. It's got some good arm side run to it. It's been pretty effective so far.
If it's not going to light up the radar gun, it can't be straight for a fastball. And Welsher gets the strikeout of Dylan Jackson there. 6 straight retired now from Welsher. He's really getting into a groove. We saw that on
second baseman number 1, Carson
in Tuesday's contest. Welsher came in the middle innings and really shut down the Oaks lineup. Carson Falskin now at the dish. Looks at a low breaking ball in the dirt for ball 1.
I'd like to see someone put hard hit on the ground here.
Yeah. 2-0 out of Falskin. Welsher's breaking ball in there. That may have been a change up there. The bottom really fell out of it. A lot of break. 2-1. Oh, misses low. Falskin, one of the few men who hasn't reached in today's ballgame for the Oaks. 2-1. Fouled back, 2-2. 2-2 or 3-2? Not sure. Scoreboard watching.
I believe it's 3-2.
It's 3-2. 3-2. The payoff pitch. Driven in the left center field. Boyd ranging over, getting under it. That's another 1-2-3 inning delivered by Jimmy Welsher. 5'9" southpaw, getting a lot of high fives from that Barons dugout once again. Still 8-1 here at Sparky Anderson Field at the end of 3 The Oaks still well in control. Dutch still out there for the Oaks here in the fourth.
It's really sticking, huh?
Yeah, I love it.
All right.
3 solid innings of work from Jack Holland. That one sharply hit to Carson Falskin. Falskin sure-handed over at second base. Easy play for him, and it retires Jacob Klinowski.
Left fielder number 13.
Bless you, Cameron.
Cameron's really been struggling the past couple days, but he's really grinding through.
Absolutely, he's a grinder.
It's what all heroes don't wear capes. Cameron
He's
Dexter-
always, I don't know if he considers himself a grinder. He's always talking about that grinder. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means to him, but
Well, I
the
belie-
man is a bit of a grinder here with the Oaks.
I believe that is some sort of app.
Is it?
Yeah,
Is it?
I don't fact check me on that.
Cam's nodding his head to confirm it is.
Breaking ball from Holland in there. So that had to count 1 and 2 to Max Diaz. Diaz grounded up to third his first time up to lead off the second.
Oh, yeah.
And goes down swinging. 4th strikeout of the ball game for Dutch.
What are the thoughts of the dirty midge that Dutch is rocking on the mound today?
The what? I'm sorry.
So let me explain. So you
That sounded foreign.
no, it's a real thing. So you have the low pants, say that Dylan Jackson is wearing. You have the high pants that Austin Carrillo is wearing. And what Dutch is rocking is what the kids call these days the dirty mids.
Dirty mids.
Yes, because it's in the middle of the leg.
It's
So-
above the. He has the pants just above the ankle, so the socks are showing.
Right, so you could argue they're in the middle of the calf,
Mm-hmm.
which is hence comes from dirty mids is the middle of the calf. Just thought I'd educate the people at home.
Yeah, I'm sure people are appreciative of that. They got a little more phrases in their repertoire now. Yeah, we even Cameron Cameron, who's all up on the lingo, doesn't know that one.
I bet you these young bucks to our right know exactly what dirty mids are.
1-2 count
Mario's nodding his head yes.
to Julian Boyd. Comebacker off the glove, knocked down by Holland, and retires the side. 3 up, 3 down for the second consecutive inning. We head to the bottom of the 4th, 8-1 Oaks. Reminds you of a West Side Story.
Yes, sir.
Can only mean that Mac Moyer is up. It's at a first pitch ball. The radar gun is on. 64 miles an hour on that curveball by Jimmy Welsher.
He's lined it up.
74 on the gun.
Well, we keep, I mean, we're emphasizing the velocity to which he's throwing, but he's been incredibly effective, which goes to show.
You don't need to throw hard to be effective, as Moyer lines another one up the middle. That'll be good for his 3rd hit of the ball game. The Oaks have 5 hits in total. Mac Moyer has 60% of them.
It's good quick maths right there.
Quick muffs.
I mean, he's just locked in as of late. He's just hitting missiles up the middle, doubles the right center. Just outstanding performance by Mac Moyer so far today, and it's only the 4th inning.
We'll bring up Austin Carrillo. Carrillo yet to be retired. Welsher picks off Moyer, and he is out easily. So Moyer picked off, not the first time we've seen him picked off this year. Welsher finally allowing a base runner for the first time in 7 batters and quickly eliminates him. Carrillo and Moyer, the only 2 guys to figure out how to get a hit off of Jimmy Welsher so far. Carrillo comes up empty on that 1-0-1. Breaking ball stays inside.
A little bit of a gravity ball there. Started up high and just used gravity to come back down. Never made it all the way back down, though.
1-1 count to Carrillo. Welsher set, fires, fouled back. 1-2. Welcher looking for the second strikeout of his outing. That one misses upstairs. Some action in the Barons bullpen. It's a righty up. And also some action in the Oaks bullpen. Cole Fisher going down there to get some work. In. Don't know if he'll be coming into today's ball game or if it's just a little side work. Full count now to Carrillo. Welcher's payoff pitch misses up. So 1-out walk for Austin Carrillo. His second of the day. Carrillo still yet to be retired. Just wonder if Welcher's on his last gallon of gas here. Starting to lose a little bit of the command. Was really filling up that strike zone, as Connor Mullen likes to say. Check over at Carrillo, nothing going.
I was just enlightened by Hunter over here to my right. If you peer over to the fence line over by the Barons bullpen, there are children sitting on the top of the fence.
There was a fire marshal out here earlier. Don't know if that's up to code. Another check on Carrillo. Once again, nothing going on.
Probably not the best idea.
No.
I mean, yeah,
Certainly not with a lefty up either.
for sure, but probably a great view.
Oh, for sure. Oh, for sure. Welcher finally throws a first pitch into Brendan Durfee, and it's in at the knees for strike one.
Welcher really pounded the box this outing, just filling it up. Just filling it up. That's all you can do.
The 0-1 in the dirt, smothered by Laureano. Another check at Austin Carrillo, the third of the at-bat. That's a balk now. Major League Baseball, Connor. Don't know if you're up to date on the rules.
I did indeed know that. If he's safe on the third check, it is a balk, and he's awarded second base.
Not quite the case here. 1-1 to Durfee. Fouled back and out of play. The center fielder Boyd and the second baseman Neighbors rocking some pink tape on the wrists. Brendan Durfee rocking the blue tape on both wrists. The 1-2. Hit into right field. Coming in hard is Klinovsky, and he makes the play. Going down on his knees to do so.
It's a good play. Late break for Klinovsky and right, but makes a good play. Even if the ball does bounce, he's in a good position to keep the ball in front of him, preventing the ball from going to the wall, but doesn't need to do that. Catches the ball for out number 2.
It'll now bring up Chris Wright. Wright walked in the first. Another check on Carrillo. 4th time that Jimmy Welcher has checked in on the Oaks left fielder. Time is called as the ball gets down all the way to the backstop from the Barons bullpen. The gentlemen in the Barons crowd on their side of the bleachers letting the umpires know to call time. First pitch from Welcher in there for strike one.
Notice Wilshire has never picked off twice in a row to first base. There's always a pitch in between. Something opposing runners can pick up. So if you're a betting man,
The coaching brain of Connor Mullen at work.
you're a betting man. If you go first movement here, he's not going to pick over.
In a 7-run ball game, I really doubt if Carrillo's going to try to swipe a bag. Wright smashes one foul. Good play over there in front by the Barons bullpen to stop the ball. Not the best play after with the flip to the bullpen catcher, but we won't talk about that. The youngsters gallivanting on the fence. A couple of them have went down. Breaking ball on the outside corner perplexes Chris Wright. Surprised that he got rung up there, but gets rung up nonetheless. At the end of 4, the Oaks still well out in front. 8-1 ball game. We haven't had any runs since the first. For the top of the 5th. Jack Holland's still out there. Mark Anthony Hernandez goes after the first pitch, and Zach Daudet pulls the first baseman, Dylan Jackson. And the leadoff man is on for the Barons. Easy to score that, E6 in your books at home. First error of the ball game.
Third baseman number 2, Andrew.
And that'll
It looks
cause
like
Coach Solis to come out and check on Daudet.
Oh.
Daudet's shaking his arm a little bit, and in a 7-run ball game, you hate to see anyone have to leave a game with injury, and you will most likely see the Oaks make a change here. Just a little precautionary, maybe. Trainer Yoshi going out to check on Daudet. Really just hope that it has nothing to do with the elbow.
Trying to think what move they'd be able to make because Schwartzberg's not here, so you can put him in. Eli Paton's DHing today, so you can slide him in.
I feel like you can. I think Drew Smith is here today.
He's not.
Oh, he's not here today. Looks like they're gonna have to.
No, all day either, so you couldn't move people around and adjust with that. But they're going to check on Daudet and maybe
It looks like Falskin's moving over to short already, and someone may be coming in.
Maybe we can get Cameron Deck a glove and he can go out and play second base.
one day Josh isn't here.
Yeah. It's a
They're going to call, well, actually they can't even call one of these goofballs over here in because this one's dealing with this injury, this one's dealing with this injury. This one can only play catcher, can't hit the ball, so. Connor, I think you're up.
I mean, I can play a little 2B. It looks like Bennett Markinson is who's getting the call.
We've seen Markinson take ground balls during batting practice quite a few times. And he'll take a couple of warm-up ground balls here. Markinson, a catcher by trade. The throw from third base shouldn't be a problem for him. We'll see how the infield is rearranged. Falskin went to short initially. He's going to stay there, and it's going to be Nick Leehey moving over to second base. Just hate to see anyone leave a game early, especially in a 7-run ball game. Ball's in the dirt to Andrew Ramirez. Almost a back pick attempt.
Especially a guy who just committed to a new school the other day.
One fouled off of Ramirez in the box. 1-1.
Ball always finds the new guys, so don't be surprised if Markinson gets an opportunity here.
Jackson holding Hernandez at first. Holland comes home. One's lined into the left center field gap. Moyer on his horse, but he's unable to get there. Hernandez rounding third, heading home, and he'll be in there without a throw. Second run of the game for the Barons. First run of the ball game since the first for either team. And the score is now 8-2.
That ball just leaked over the middle a little bit. A little hook barrel action into the left center gap. Ball was hit hard.
The run will be unearned for Holland after the Daudet error. Oaks still have 6 runs to work with, but it's top of the lineup now for the Barons. Barons trying to build a little momentum and get back into this ball game. They got a pretty heroic performance by the southpaw Jimmy Welsher. Went over 3 innings of work in relief. That one is sprayed foul from Bassett. 0-2.
The U.S. women's national team about to kick off in the World Cup.
Very, very unfortunate that we're not able to catch the beginning of that one. Of course, our girls are usually favorites in the World Cup. Gonna be rooting for them pretty hard. Testing the newly moved second baseman Nick Leehey over at short is Anthony Bassett, and moves the runner Ramirez over for the first out.
Taking on Vietnam at 9 p.m. Eastern time.
Oh.
So
Bringing up some old rivalries there. Vietnam.
would be pretty cool if we played Fortunate Son coming out of the tunnel.
Oh, that would be, yeah, that would be elite. That's elite there. Back pick by
Oh.
Brendan Durfee. Trying to catch Andrew Ramirez sleeping. Ramirez letting Durfee know, it ain't me, it ain't me. I ain't the one sleeping.
That was an interesting play by Durfee there. It looked like he was going to throw back to the pitcher, and then he changed his feet really quick and let off a BB to third base. Almost backpicked him.
2-1 to Kamayo Neighbors. Neighbors singled back in the first. That one nearly clips him. Counts now 3-1. The 3-1. And one driven into right field. Right going back. Is running out of room, and it'll get out of here. Kamayo Neighbors putting a jolt into that one. And it's a 2-run homer. And don't look, but the lead has been cut in half. It's a 4-run ball game, 8-4 Oaks, after the 2-run home run by Kamayo Neighbors.
Looked like Holland left that ball in, and Neighbors was just able to turn on it and poke one out of here. I didn't know Neighbors had that kind of pop, but here we are.
Only 92 miles per hour was the exit velocity, but it's just a case of how the ball flies here.
Kissed by the
at
wind.
Sparky Anderson Field. Neighbors, just a perfect launch angle. And the ball just scrapes over the wall.
Well, it was a wall scraper, but it counts just the same, as Matt Veskurgen would say in MLB The Show 2016. It was a very common one that I heard. I'm a Road to the Show player.
What were our career stats on our on our creative player on the show?
I'll tell you a quick
Hall of Famer?
I was a Hall of Famer, absolutely. I'll tell you
Obviously.
a quick story on my. So the reason I dislike Corey Seager a lot is I came up.
Took your spot.
No. I wouldn't say that.
Took some awards.
Took some. Well, he wasn't him. It was Kyle Seager. But so I came up with the Orioles hit 82 home runs in 2 months.
Naturally.
Was a
That one clips Laureano, and he'll be awarded first. Just grazed the elbow guard, but still a hit by pitch. Counts all the same, as you just alluded to, Connor.
Yeah, so I came up after the All-Star break. I hit, a good amount of home runs in half the season, about 200 RBIs, and I don't win MVP. I mean, Kyle Seager hit 35 homers with 120 RBIs, and he won MVP. But I come up, hit 80, and I won MVP. I was very upset about it. So that's why I don't like Kyle Seager or Corey Seager, for that matter. The whole Seager family. But it's a very petty debate, but that's okay. I win MVP the next 25 years.
Speaking of the show, fun franchise right now in this year's The Show. Red Sox currently 4th in the AL East. Didn't stop them from trading for Bobby Wood Jr.
That's right. Hey, I wouldn't be mad at that.
Stay aggressive.
I got to the deadline and I was just looking at what moves people made, and all of a sudden I get to the Red Sox and I see they traded for Bobby Wood Jr. It's like, all right,
Zuniga's 0 for 2
found their Bogarts replacement.
in a 1-2 hole now. Spoils that one from Dutch. Mariano on first. Neighbors really surprising everyone with that home run there. Don't get up out of your seats all at once, but that is his first on the summer. That one's lazily lifted into center field. Moyer gets under it quickly for out number 2. Coach Solis quickly pacing to the mound, and that could be it for Holland. Coach Solis rarely doesn't bring the hook with him, and the umpires signaled down to the righty in the pen. It's going to be Cole Fisher coming in to finish off the 5th. It was a good adding by Holland, just kind of spoiled at the end by Kamayo Neighbors. Gets a round of applause from the crowd, as he should. Takes off the hat, fixes the hair, and lets fist bumping his fellow Oaks. Gets into the dugout. Cole Fisher on the mound. Landscaping the mound, and he's going to start his warm-up pitches. We'll come back once he's ready. 8-4 Oaks.
He likes it.
Cole Fisher ready to go. Trying to finish off the 5th. Unfortunate for Holland, as he will not be the pitcher of record, as he was unable to complete 5 innings of baseball. If Cole Fisher can get the final out of the 5th, he will become the pitcher of record. Jacob Klanowski pops one up on the infield, testing out Markinson, having a tough time, and it drops. Markinson newly entered after Zach Daudet had to leave the game due to injury and really had trouble getting under that pop-up.
Ball always finds the new guy every time. You just got to be prepared for it. I mean, kind of had flashes of Brett Beatty there.
Catastrophic play for the young Mets player. Fisher trying to shake that one off. Should be out of the inning. Second error of the inning for the Oaks. Both coming on the left side of the infield. Max Diaz now up for the Barons. Fisher shakes it one off and unable to get a sign as he steps off. Oh, 1. Cued foul and nearly spun back in play, but it stayed foul, just staying wide of first base. And Diaz is in an 0-2 hole. Cole Fisher trying to get out of the inning. The 0-2. That one driven in the left. Carrillo on his horse. It'll get to the wall. 2 runs will score. Max Diaz with a 2-run double, and the Barons have some life. 8-6. 5 runs coming across the score in the 5th.
There's the hanging breaking ball that kind of stayed up for Fisher and was able to drop the barrel and hit a double left center. Ball was absolutely smoked. This is a big inning for the Barons as well. Coming back 8-1, scoring 5 runs. Give yourself some life, a chance.
The Barons were dead on arrival. 8 runs allowed in the first, but Jimmy Welsher came in and kept the hope alive. 3 scoreless innings out of the pen, and the Barons reward him with 5 runs here in the 5th, and they're right back in this ball game. It was once a 7-run lead for the Oaks that has dwindled down to 2.
The momentum has definitely switched. Sammy Holladay.
This will be the 9th batter of the inning for the Barons, Julian Boyd. Strike at the knees, 2-1 count. This game has certainly been turned on its head. Barons really putting up a good number this inning. A lot of loud contact. Fisher falls behind Boyd 3-1 and in danger of extending this inning again. Should be out of it as Bennett Markinson was unable to catch a pop-up on the infield, dancing in the wind. The 3-1, Boyd swings and misses, and that one looked above the hands. Boyd unwilling to take the walk. Fisher shakes off a couple signs and steps off the mound once again. Him and Durfee not on the same page right now. Fisher takes a look at Diaz, comes home, breaking ball, yes sir. A backdoor breaking ball. Fisher gets the strikeout, but not before. The Barons strike big here in the 5th. 5 runs. And this ball game got interesting once again. 6-8 as we're halfway home in this one. New pitcher for the Barons. We'll tell you all about him when we come back. leading off for the Oaks. Garrett Mechanick. Very interesting last name, M-N-I-C-H. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. I'm probably not. I apologize to the young man out of Marin Community College by way of Fontana, California. 2-0 count to Markinson. Minnick into the windup and falls behind now 3-0. Markinson, of course, if you're just joining us, entered the game after Zach Daudet had to leave the game due to injury. Goes after the 3-0 pitch and pops it up into center field. Julian Boyd gets under it for out number 1.
I mean, you're ahead in the count 3-0. He's got to throw another. He's got to throw 3 by you to get you out. And we're being uber aggressive.
I'd understand that approach if we were still winning this game 8-1, but we're not.
Even that, it's just he's gonna throw the same pitch 3-0 as he or 3-1 that he did 3-0.
Eli Paton goes after the first one and hits it into the 5-6 hole. Mentioned it before when Anthony Bassett did it. Tony Gwynn would be proud of that swing there.
I have an interesting story about Tony Gwynn, if anybody would like to hear it.
I would love to hear it, and I'm sure the people at home would also love to.
Just a quick story. My brother was doing a showcase game down at San Diego State. My brother, left-handed hitter, speedster, had a base hit through the 5-6 hole, and runs down to first base. And Tony Gwynn comes up to him, and says, "It's a nice hit, young man. Way to use the 5.5 hole." And my brother tells that story about twice a week. He's very excited about that, hearing Tony Gwynn speak to him and compliment him on his swing. So it's a cool little story.
Yeah, it's a nice one. (1-0) to Nick Leehey. Swings and misses at that one. 1-1. Tony Gwynn, of course, his beloved San Diego State Aztecs. Got a statue down there. Mr. Padre as well. One of the most beloved men that has ever been in San Diego.
Left fielder's playing a little shallow, don't you think?
Yeah, Diaz is definitely playing an unconventional left field. He was burned earlier by Dylan Jackson on the bases clearing double. Check on Eli Paton at first. He's in there safely.
Never twice. Never will pick over twice. It's a good count for a hit and run as well.
2-1 for sure. We'll see if anything's on right now. 2-1. Nothing going, and it misses upstairs. 3-1 now. I don't know if I missed the memo or if it's just because Barbie is premiering, but we're seeing a lot of pink all over the field. A lot of bats being wrapped in pink tape as Leehey comes up empty in that one and the count runs full.
It's a very popular color, Sammy. I don't. You're not a big pink fan?
It's not that. It's just I don't know if it's been like this all summer. I really doubt it. I think, unless I just noticed it, it could be everyone's really stoked for the premiere of Barbie. A balk was called on Mechanick, and Paton goes down to second. A pitch was thrown, but it didn't count. I wonder, we will be asking Cameron Deck next inning how that affects his TrackMan.
It doesn't exist in TrackMan, so it upsets him.
The 3-2. Pulled very, very hard out of the out of the left-handed batter's box. Paton goes down to third. Leehey draws the walk, and it's runners on the corner for Dylan Jackson.
Do you gentlemen remember when you were able to pick what happened after a balk was called?
I'm sorry?
You got to pick the outcome of when what happened. So say that was ball 4. He could have picked that would have been ball 4, and he moves to second anyway. Used to be a thing.
I don't remember that.
I do recall that now that you mention it.
Austin lying to kick it, obviously.
Well, I mean, so for example, if Leehey would have hit a double there,
Yeah.
I more
and
remember
he's-
that in
and he scores, then you can pick the outcome of the double compared
yes,
to
yes,
the.
yes. Okay, that makes sense. I think they caught it earlier. That's why. Because they were really saying it as Mechanick was delivering.
Yeah. But they've just recently changed the rule where you don't get to pick anymore. It's just a free base for the base runner.
1-1 at Jackson. 3 RBI double back in the first.
Oh.
Loopy breaking ball on the outside corner for strike 2. One and 2 now to Jackson. After the Barons put up a 5 spot in the top half, the Oaks would love to answer back with a few of their own here. The 1-2. Jackson skies it, foul, and it'll get out of play. On top of the Oaks dugout. And we'll do it again.
And Wednesday's starting first baseman for the Barons, Maximus Berber, currently warming the pen for the Barons.
He was warming in the pen in Wednesday's contest, and we thought maybe he could be used to close out the ball game after the Barons took the lead in the 8th.
Oh.
He did not, as Mechanick checks over at Leehey on first. Jackson at the plate. 1 for 2 today with that big double in the first. Paton trying to get the pitcher to balk again. Jackson drives another one in left field. It'll get well foul. It's hooking, and it'll get out of play. No play for Diaz in left field. Another foul ball for Dylan Jackson. Nick Leehey at first, Eli Paton on third. Mechanick set at the belt, comes home, and misses up. 2-2 count. The Oaks trying to answer back after the Barons made this game a game once again. The Oaks had a 7-run lead, and the Barons answered for 5 in the 5th. 2-run ball game. The 2-2 popped up to center field. Neighbors drifting into the shallow outfield. Paton chops his feet, but he's not really going to tag. And like Smalls in the Sandlot, Neighbors walks the ball back in. 2 outs now, and it'll be up to Carson Falskin to try to get the Oaks back on the board. Jackson, before he went into the dugout, covered his mouth with the elbow guards that Coach Jose gave to him and must have told Falskin what Mechanick's got.
Oh.
That one misses up and in for ball one. Runners still on the corners. 2 outs. Pitch to Carson Falskin.
That away.
Looped into left field for a base hit. The Oaks get one off of the Carson Falskin 2-out single. First time that Falskin reaches today.
It's a big insurance run for the Oaks. Did a nice job with 2 outs, just muscling a ball through the 5-6 hole. Drives in Paton. Getting an extra run up there. Let's see if Mac Moyer can out on right here.
And Moyer is just the guy that the Oaks won up 3 for 3 today. Guy who's just been tearing the cover off the baseball as of late. Really seeing the ball well. Just missed that one there. Comes up empty. All 9 spots for the Oaks have reached base safely today. Moyer looks at one at his eyes for ball one. Hasn't been smooth sailing for Mechanick this inning. Couple of hits, a walk, a balk, and 1 run came around to score. That breaking ball nearly got Moyer, and he had to scoot out of the way. 2-1 count. And if there's a guy you don't want to fall behind in this Oaks lineup, it is Mac Moyer. The 2-1. Up and in, 3-1. A hitter's count for the young Oregon Duck. Trying to extend the lead for the Oaks. Mechanick's 3-1. Moyer pops it up. It'll stay on the infield. Mechanick telling everyone to get out of his way, and he'll take care of it himself. That'll retire the side. Moyer retired for the first time today. The Oaks get 1 back after the Barons scored 5 in the top half of the 5th. At the end of 5, 6-9 in favor. We are back for the top of the sixth. The Oaks were once ahead by 7 runs. It is now a 3-run ball game. Cole Fisher on the mound for the Oaks. First pitch breaking ball to Mark Anthony Hernandez is in there. Hernandez singled back in the second, reached on the Zach Daudet error last inning and came around to score. Another breaking ball from Fisher, misses inside, 1-1. 6th inning now, and of course, Cam's Corner.
Gentlemen, how are we
Cameron
doing?
Deck on the broadcast for us, giving us some insight on the TrackMan data that he has seen in today's game. Anything caught your eye today, Cameron?
A lot of high exit velos. It's been a high-scoring ball game here in the 6th inning.
15 runs in the first 5 innings. If you took the first 5 over, you're a very happy man today.
Cha-ching.
2-2 from Fisher. And Hernandez brought to his knees as he swings and misses for Fisher's first strikeout.
I am a huge fan of that Fisher slider. I'm not calling it a sweeper. I refuse. That's a slider.
What do we got on the spin on that?
2,800.
Woo.
It's spinning.
First pitch to Andrew Ramirez is in on the hands. A nice barehanded, backhanded play in foul territory by Oaks pitcher Cody Carson. 0-1 to Ramirez. Ramirez doubled last inning, came around to score. That one misses up, 1-1.
It's the first 90 of the day for Cole Fisher. Could be a little bit lower on the TrackMan, I don't know.
Yeah, it was 90.
Wow. The 1-1. Popped up, and it'll get out of play. 1-2 count to Andrew Ramirez. Cameron, anything stand out to you as far as pitching went today? As Fisher gets another strikeout, Ramirez looking really foolish going after that high fastball. Second time today he has done so. For out number 2.
Besides Jimmy Welcher, right? That was the last name.
Yep.
Getting this quickly through, what was the middle? What was it, like the first 3 innings? First 4
2,
innings?
3, 4.
Okay. Not much to really report on today, but Cole Fisher's fastball and slider have a ton of spin to them. As you can see, he's giving those Barons hitters some trouble this inning.
Why? I ask you this all the time,
Mm-hmm.
but why does spin matter
On any pitch?
on
Or on a
a
specific-
fastball, on a slider?
I got to do more research on it, obviously. I can't give you a good enough answer, but I do know that if a fastball has a ton of spin on it, it's going to be obvious here, but it's a lot harder to hit. I don't know why. I don't know how one gets
Harder
more.
to pick up.
Yeah,
It's more of a blur.
yeah, that's what I would assume.
And it's probably got a little bit more movement, no? It's got more ride, got a
Yeah,
little bit more
I think a
vertical
little more
movement.
rise, to it. More of a rising fastball, you could say.
Bassett in there. Just able to get a piece of that one on the 1-2 pitch. Just foul it off. Avery Tao going down to the bullpen to warm up for the Oaks. Fisher shakes off the sign, gets one he likes, the 1-2. Backdoor breaking ball. And just like he ended the 5th, he ends the 6th. 4th straight strikeout for Cole Fisher. We head into the bottom of the 6th, 6-9, Oaks. Austin Carrillo now up for the Oaks. Carrillo 1 for 1 today, drawing a couple walks. Mechanick still out there for the Barons. First pitch, Carrillo, slapped foul. 0-1. How we doing, Cameron?
Doing all right.
Just all right?
Just all right. It's been a kind of a tough week. Feeling a little under the weather. Just getting through it.
Oh.
Michael Jordan flu game.
Yeah, that's what we're feeling right now.
0-1 Carrillo. That one misses below the zone. Maybe a change up there from Mechanick.
Correct.
The 1-1. Broken bat up the middle. Bassett fields it. Rolls over to first for the first out.
Me. Yes.
For that pause, just our intern Emily to ask us a couple questions. Brendan Durfee now in there. Austin Carrillo's on first.
Yeah, did I miss something?
Did I miss something?
Their faces are cut off on like
Was-
the header.
What happened?
I'm not sure what happened. Durfee drives one into right field.
Maybe one of the boys 'cause they're
Klanovsky gets under it.
if that makes sense.
What happened?
Like this.
What happened?
Oh.
That cuts off, but yeah, you just have to.
Okay.
We're not entirely sure what happened with Austin Carrillo and how he is on first.
Okay, no, I didn't know it did that. So.
Don't know if Hernandez was unable to handle the throw. Maybe there was a catcher's interference call. I'm not sure.
All the boys are out there. Boy game.
Chris Wright's up. Carrillo's on the move. Laureano throws down. It's a good one, and it gets Carrillo. Carrillo will head back to the dugout.
Really
If
nice
we get
tag.
word on what happened, on why he was on first, we will pass it along. I guess it doesn't matter in the long run as he is out anyway. So it's 2 outs for Chris Wright. Mechanick's 1-0 to Wright. Big swing and a miss. 1-1.
I'm so scared for you.
1-1 to Chris Wright. Popped foul out of play. A lot smoother of an inning so far for Mechanick here in the 6th.
Mr. Catcher's interference.
Catcher's interference.
Interesting.
So mark that one as an E2, catcher's interference. Error on the catcher. Maybe the bat wasn't broken. Maybe that was the sound of the bat hitting the catcher's mitt.
That could be it.
Could be, could be. 2-2. Count runs full as the pitch from Mechanick was outside. Wright walked in the first as 6 others did. Popped up on the infield in the second and struck out in the fourth looking. Draws his second walk of the day, and he'll take a stroll down to first and greet first base coach Jose. Nice little fist bump there, and he'll take off the big elbow guard that Chris Wright likes to wear, a la Barry Bonds.
Bonds had a lot of accessories. A lot of wristbands, less sleeves.
First pitch to Markinson misses up. I think the reason why Bonds did that at least is because he was walked so often, so he wanted to really make sure, okay, if you're gonna walk me, I'm gonna take forever to take all my stuff off.
Yeah, I could see that.
I like that.
1-0, Markinson lines it, foul.
Excellent play down there.
Barry Bonds, a Arizona State alum.
That's right. That's right. Anyone else in Arizona State alum? Our very own Cameron Deck. That's right.
Yep.
That was the answer to our Aflac trivia question. As Markinson skies one into center field, Boyd's on his horse, unable to make the play. It goes off his glove. Wright will score easily as there was 2 outs, and he was off on the sound of the crack of the bat. And the Oaks get one more. Lead back up to 4, 6-10 here in the 6th.
Great jump by Boyd to even get to that ball, but once he get there, he just lost focus and just dropped the ball. I mean, yeah, it was a long run, but that's a ball that has to be caught every time. And now the Oaks could take advantage.
Again, impressive that Boyd got there, but with his speed and getting there, may have cost himself an error. Check swing from Payton. Foul ball. Oh, 1 to Eli Paton, singled back in the 5th. Ball misses outside, and Laureano wants to have a word with his pitcher. Don't know if Chris Wright is feeling good. He just went to the back with trainer Yoshi. We'll let you know if he comes back out for the 7th. One to Eli Paton. Minnick really taking his time out there. Daylight play. Nothing going. Minnick has a real long hold on the mound. Takes longer than some to get a sign. Look at Markinson. Delivers. That one's past Payton for strike 2.
I asked this a couple broadcasts ago. Do you know why they call it the daylight play? And I don't think Connor was on the broadcast. Do you know why they call it the daylight play?
Is this like a trivia question? Or like you
He
don't
don't
know?
know.
I am genuinely
Oh, you don't
asking.
know?
He wants to know.
I think it's because you put daylight in between your shortstop. So your shortstop stays in one place. And if there's daylight between the runner and the shortstop, that's when you pick. That's when you know how to, when to pick.
Yep.
There we go.
So you create daylight because your shortstop runs to the base. So there's
In
daylight
between the shadows.
In between the.
Mhm.
Yep.
I like it. There we go.
Be here all week.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out to Eli Paton. Minnick comes home, nearly gets the elbow, and the count runs full. Six runs on 7 hits for the Barons. Don't know the official amount of errors. 10 runs, 7 hits, 1 error for the Oaks. 3-2 to Payton. That one hit him. If it wouldn't have hit him, it would have been ball 4 anyway. that maybe have saved the Barons 90 feet, as that one would have got to the backstop and Markinson would have been on third.
Looks like he got a piece of Lorion though as well. He's kind of flexing his leg a little bit.
It's longer than usual that we get to hear Nick Leehey's walk-up music. They have to play a couple of walks for Leehey today. The 1-0 misses away. 2-0 count. Peyton at first, Markinson at second. 1 run across here in the 6th. 10 runs for your Oaks, 6 runs for the Barons. Dylan Jackson awaits on deck with that new pink taped bat. Minute comes home, misses with the changeup. 3-0.
Quick side note, the U.S. women's national team has scored their first goal against Vietnam.
Here we go.
Sophia Smith. Just reporting up the news. Okay. Thanks, Austin. Appreciate it.
3-0 count to Leehey,
What are we going to do with him?
and that one misses up. 4-pitch walk for Nick Leehey's 3rd walk of the day, and that'll cause Kenny Landreau, the coach for the Barons, to make a mound visit. Entire infield going to meet with their coach. Manick hands the ball to his skipper, gets a pat on the back, and heads to the dugout. Maximus Berber entering the game for the Barons, trying to keep the score how it is. When we come back, it'll be Dylan Jackson versus Maximus Berber with the bases loaded. It's Dylan Jackson versus Maximus Berber. First pitch, breaking ball. Jackson's unable to handle. 0-1. Berber out of Whittier College by way of Riverside, California. Just reminds me of a song. Ice Cube song. No Vaseline, never heard it. Yellin' Compton, but you moved to Riverside. Just funny. Barron's playing Compton. Berber's from Riverside. Kind of similar connection there. 2-1.
That's what we like to call a bit of a stretch there, Sammy.
Yeah. Is it?
Yeah.
Just
You're reaching.
Riverside and Compton. Just
No, you're back. It's okay, though.
2-1. Berber out of the windup with the bases loaded. Jackson hits it to third. Ramirez fields cleanly. Throws across the diamond. 2. Retire the side. We are heading in to the final third of this ball game. 6-10 is your score. Your Conejo Oaks have the lead. Cole Fisher going back out there for the 7th. We'll be back. Kamaya Neighbors leading off the 7th. First pitch from Cole Fisher. Misses towards the back foot. Neighbors, last time he was up, bit of a laser show. Got over the right field wall. 2-run homer that cut the lead down to 4. The Barons would score 2 more in the 5th to cut it down to 2. But since then, the Oaks have tacked 2 back on. And it's once again a 4-run ball game. 2-0 from Fisher. Backdoor breaking ball stays in the backyard. And the count runs to 3-0. Chris Wright did have to exit the ball game. He's got some ice around his knee. And in right field, replacing him is, looks like Sean Blandino. The 3-0 misses, and it's a 4-pitch walk for Kamaya Neighbors. Cole Fisher confirming with the umpire where that one missed. He was signaling, did it miss up? And the umpire nodded.
Well, certainly not ideal for the lads with having 2 guys go out with injuries today.
Yoshi having a busy day today. Laureano steps in before he looks at a first pitch. Fisher checks in on Neighbors. He's in there safely. Avery Towles still warming up down there in the Oaks bullpen. First pitch from Fisher misses inside, and it's 5 straight balls to open up the 7th. Fisher had struck out 4 in a row before that Neighbors walk. Another check on Neighbors. A couple of got-ems out of the Oaks dugout, but Neighbors was in there safely. Laureano 0 for 2 today. Was hit by a pitch back in the 5th. That one from Fisher misses as well, 2-0. Four-run ball game. The 2-0 from Fisher. And that one clips Laureano again. Second time that one grazes Laureano, and he will march down to first. He's not going to argue.
Designated hitter number 37, Alonzo Zuniga.
Couple of checks in the Oaks dugout, looking down towards the bullpen. Alonso Zuniga now at the dish. Zuniga's 0 for 3. Had an RBI ground out back in the first, struck out in the third, and flew out to center in the 5th. Tips that one into the glove of Brendan Durfee. 0-1 count. Cole Fisher looks over at Neighbors. Longer look. Comes home, and Zuniga really looks silly there. And he's behind 0-2.
Looked like he was ready to take on the Three Musketeers there.
Sword. There is a bug that is currently being a menace that got on my glasses. It is crawling around as I'm, there it is, finally got the sucker. 0-2, comebacker, Fisher throws over to second for 1, Falskin throws over to Jackson for 2. 1-6-3 for Cole Fisher, and he's right back in this inning, on track to get out of here with no harm done.
Showing off a little athleticism there, Cole Fisher. Nice little pick on the short hop, leading Falskin over the base. Just what you asked the pitchers to do, throw it over the base. Nice little 1-6-3 double play for the Oaks.
Beautiful play. And Fisher's 1 out away from getting out of the 7th, keeping the score as it is. First pitch fastball blown by Jacob Klinowski. Fisher faced Klinowski back in the 5th, got him to pop up. Bennett Markinson unable to handle it. Klinowski checks his swing and fouls it into Brendan Durfee's glove. Fisher once again ahead, 0-2. Fisher looking to end his outing in style. The 0-2 pitch. Outside, 1-2. Fisher's 1-2. In the dirt. Smothered by Durfee. Keeps Neighbors at third. Two-two count to Jacob Klinowski. Barons need Klinowski to come through. And down 4 runs, only 7 outs of offense remaining. Fisher's 2-2. Ball out of the hand, and the count runs full.
A little bumped up on that pitch, got up to 91.
Sure, if you asked him, he would have preferred to stay calm and throw a strike instead. It's a lot more pressure on this pitch. 3-2. Breaking ball in the dirt, and Klonowski went after it. Cole Fisher, another strikeout, his 5th of the outing. Really was showing it all that inning. Showed the athleticism to make the double play ball and gets the strikeout of Klonowski. We head into the bottom of the 7th. We stretch. Oaks lead 6-10. Back for the bottom of the 7th. Oaks lead 6-10. Carson Falskin leading off against Maximus Berber. Berber gets Falskin to swing and miss for strike 1. And misses with that one. 1-1. Falskin singled home a run back in the 5th. 1 for 3 today. Berber into the windup. Up and in. 2-1. Berber's 2-1 is a breaking ball that misses high for ball 3. Three and 1 to Carson Falskin. And that one misses, and it's a leadoff walk for your Oaks. Second time that Falskin has gotten on today, and that's exactly what you want out of your number 9 hitter, setting the table for the top of the lineup. Moyer was retired for the first time, his last time up. Popped up to the pitcher. 3 hits today for Mac Moyer. Feels like about the 3rd or 4th time we've said that this week. Berber out of the stretch. Moyer grounded hard to second. Neighbors over to second for 1 on the first. Double play. Really quick turn up the middle by the Barons to get the speedy Moyer. Neighbors to Bassett to Hernandez for 2.
It's an excellent turn by the middle infield for the Barons there. Neighbors with an excellent feed and just a strong throw to first base to beat the speedy Moyer.
Two outs now for Austin Carrillo. Carrillo, we were perplexed as to why he was on first after he grounded out to the shortstop Bassett last inning. But it was ruled a catcher's interference, which allowed Carrillo to go to first. This time he hits one into left field. Diaz was playing in, had to track back, and is able to make the catch to retire the side. Oaks go quietly here in the 7th. We head to the 8th. Oaks lead 6-10. back for the top of the 8th. First pitch to Max Diaz in their first strike. Avery Tao now in there for the Oaks. Breaking ball in there. 0-2.
That was Purdy.
This dynamite drop in by Austin there. That was a good pitch.
Yeah.
First time we've seen Avery Tao since he was unfortunately lit up in Pasadena by the Saints.
I didn't know Mr. Avery Tao had 90 in the tank.
The 1-2.
Ah.
In the dirt, smothered by Durfee. Half-hearted appeal to first. First base umpire doesn't even bother saying that Diaz didn't swing. That outing in Pasadena swelled up Tao's ERA to 15. Gets a strikeout of Diaz here for the first out.
Center field number 3, Julian Paul.
DJ Contreras making his way to the bullpen. We'll see if Tao is used for a 6-out save. If he doesn't give up any runs and Contreras comes in for the 9th, it won't be a save situation for Contreras because Tao has to work multiple innings. The 4-run lead would be considered a save.
Pinch hitter here, too, Sammy.
Pinch hitter for Julian Boyd is Delshawn Lanier Jr. We saw Lanier pinch hit in last night's ball game as well. 1-1 from Tao. Breaking ball. Lanier does a good job of staying disciplined and spitting on that breaking ball. Unfortunately, on their roster, we don't have the college that Lanier currently attends, or his year, or his hometown. Comes up empty on that one, 2-2.
Just a guy with a name.
Just a guy with a name. There's got to be a song named that somewhere. 2-2. In the dirt, smothered by Durfee, and the count runs full. Of course, there is a horse with no name.
Walking through the desert.
Bless you, Cameron. Full count pitch. Lanier smacks it in the left field for a base hit. Right at Austin Carrillo, he throws it in. Lanier takes a turn, comes back to the applause of his dugout.
It's tough to do, come off the bench, especially in the later innings, come off the bench. Face a guy you haven't seen. But Lanier Jr. doing a nice job, taking that fastball, serving it out to left field.
The first baseman, Mark Anthony Hernandez, steps into the box. Tao fires. Strike one. Lanier, decent sized lead, and Tao doesn't want it to get any larger. Checks over. Lanier taking a couple steps off of first. Tao delivers. Fouled back. 0-2. Tao looking for another strikeout. The Barons have went down on strikes 10 times today. Tao's 0-2. Backdoor breaking ball, yes sir. Right on the outside corner. Avery Tao executing well for his second strikeout. 11 strikeouts now for this Oaks pitching staff. If we were the Dodgers, we'd be getting free Jumbo Jacks now. Jumbo Jacks.
I'm sure,
Thank you, Cameron, for that update.
sure Josh is thrilled about that.
I like the promo of when the Dodgers score 6 runs, you get a free 6-piece McNuggets.
You take advantage of that at all?
Every once in a while.
Never have.
I used to a lot.
Never done the Nuggets after the Dodgers score 6, as Ramirez chops one into right field for a base hit to extend the inning.
That was a big move after summer water polo practices when I was in high school.
Also, never went into a Jack in the Box the next day and got a Jumbo Jack. Ever. Brendan Durfee goes over to give a couple of words of encouragement to Avery Tao to help him get out of this inning. Top of the lineup up once again. It's Anthony Bassett. Bassett a switch hitter. Neighbors a switch hitter as well. Tao misses 1-0. That was 1-0. Lined into center field for a base hit. Lanier will round third and score easily. Moyer's throw is into third. Ramirez is in there safely. Markinson picks it out of the dirt. It's a 2-out single that drives in a run for Anthony Bassett. The Barons once again starting to make the Oaks heart rate race just a bit. Kamayu Neighbors represents the tying run. He hit a home run back in the 5th, and I would lose my mind if he does so again here, especially from the right-handed batter's box. It's a lot harder to hit a home run in that box here at Sparky Anderson Field, the way the wind blows. The wind is currently not blowing at all. The flag out in left center is draped down. 0-1 to Neighbors. That one's in there, and Tao's ahead 0-2. Three-run ball game. 7 runs on 10 hits for the Barons, 10 runs on 7 hits for the Oaks. The 0-2 from Tao in the dirt. Durfee keeps it in front of him. Barons refusing to go quietly here today. They're once down by 7 runs. The 1-2 popped up center field. Mac Moyer gets under it, calls Carrillo off, and makes the catch to retire the side. Tao gets out of the inning with the lead intact, 7-10 heading into the bottom of the 8th. Brendan Durfee leading off the bottom of the 8th, 7-10 ball game here. New pitcher for the Barons, it's number 35. Yes, number 35, Matthew Hallman. First pitch to Durfee, a breaking ball in there for strike 1. Durfee 0 for 3 today with a walk. The 0-1. Fouled back into the netting. Oh, 0-2 count. Hallman out of the stretch. The 0-2 pitch to Brendan Durfee. Shot back up the middle over the head of Anthony Bassett. Durfee muscling that one over the shortstop's head. Durfee has been struggling as of late, but gets back in the hit column. 8th hit of the day for the Oaks. Sean Blandino now up. He entered the game after Chris Wright was unable to continue his first at bat of the day. Check on Durfee, ain't going nowhere. Pitch misses outside. Durfee no real lead to speak of at first. Hallman set, comes home, misses low. 2-0 to Sean Blandino. Blandino only 13 at-bats over the summer. 2 hits. He's ahead of the count now, 3-0. What were you saying is the style of the pants there?
The dirty mids.
Dirty mids. 3-0. And it's a 4-pitch walk issued by Matthew Hallman. First 2 men reaching here in the 8th. Oaks really trying to just put this game away and make it a stress-free 9th for either DJ Contreras if he comes in or Avery Thau if he goes back out there. And bring up Bennett Markinson. First pitch, runs inside, ball 1. Don't know what the official ruling was on that play involving Markinson back in the 6th. If it was ruled an error on Boyd, who was playing center field, who was able to get to that ball that most center fielders wouldn't be able to, or if it was ruled a double.
I believe that they ruled that an error.
I would concur with Connor.
Well, there's 2 errors up on the board. There was an error somewhere back in the, I don't know where. I think there may have been, I don't know if that was the second error. There was also the Austin Carrillo catcher's interference, which is an error. Don't know what else. Yeah? 2? Last one was ruled an error.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. Thank you, boys. We got the Point Streak boys up here in the top of the booth. They wanted a day off from the shenanigans that go down in the press box. Get up here, catch the breeze. Unfortunately for them, It's the one day that the breeze hasn't been
Present.
happening today.
Still probably cooler up here than it is down there in the press box.
I will say, as a man who usually sits down there in the sun, it is nice and cool up here. Usually I'm in the shade, but still a wee bit toasty down there.
2-0 to Markinson. In the dirt, and it squirts past Laureano. Both runners will advance. Oaks in business here. Is that, I'm sorry? Business, is that what you said?
Business, yeah.
Any reason why you said it like that? Nope. All right. There is some action in the Barons bullpen. No, I can't see that far. No chance. Not even gonna bother. That one misses, and it's another 4-pitch walk issued by Matthew Hallman.
Looks like he's kicking up that crater that has been built in the middle of the landing spot. Look at that thing.
Oh, wow.
That thing's massive.
Oh, that's insane.
Surprised they haven't called for the grounds crew to come fix it again.
Can't do that twice, can
Yeah,
you? Can't do that twice.
You can't, but
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Well, I mean, that's a harder fix than what was bothering the first guy. But, I mean, holy mackerel.
That is shocking.
Every pitcher, I guess, just has the same plant spot.
We'll bring up Eli Paton. Paton shot one in the 5-6 hole back in the 5th. Was hit by a pitch in the 6th. 1 for 3 today. Nearly hit again there, and it's 10 straight balls issued by Matthew Hallman. Surely, if you're Eli Paton, you put that bat on your shoulder here. He's got to prove that he can throw at least something over the plate before you go after it. The 2-0 does just that. 2-1. Paton will be ready to go now. The bus for the Barons is backing up. The 2-1. In the dirt. Laureano does a good job of not letting that one get back to the backstop. 3-1 count.
Excellent play by Laureano there. Sending up on the outer half of the plate. Gets a spiked curveball that bounces on the inner half. Slides over. Keeps the ball in front of
Now
him.
with Peyton's pants.
Those
You
are
can
high
see
pants.
you can see a little bit of skin. The socks don't go all the way up. The 3-1, and that one misses, and it'll be an RBI walk for Eli Paton. Score is now 7-11 for the Oaks. A motion down to the bullpen, and that'll be it for Hallman. There's also going to be some guys moving around on the infield. Everyone coming in now. Some gloves being rearranged. Could be seeing a new first baseman. It looks like Mark Anthony Hernandez is going to... Is he going to pitch? Yes, it's going to be Mark Anthony Hernandez who's going to pitch.
The guy who was just warming up in the bullpen seems very puzzled by that.
Interesting. Looks like Neighbors will stay at second. Bassett stays at short. Thomas Williams enters the game for Matthew Hallman. Hallman moves over to Williams moves over to third, and Ramirez moves over to first. Don't know how the Point Streak boys are going to have to deal with this.
Yeah, they're trying very hard to figure it out over there.
A lot
We'll
of moving
step
parts.
away, and once Hernandez is ready to go, we'll be back. First pitch from Mark Anthony Hernandez is inside to Nick Leehey. Leehey has a hat trick of walks, that is.
I see what you did there.
Leehey skies one into left center field. Lanier coming in. Plenty deep enough for Markinson to score. No, Blandino, I'm sorry. Markinson
Scored on the walk.
scored on the walk. Yes. No. No, Markinson is at second.
How did his
It's
socks?
a long game, folks. Long game. Long game. Long game. I'll go down as a sacrifice fly for Nick Leehey. Get himself a steak to go along with those three walks.
Trying to figure out where Markinson is.
He's at second base.
You know, second
He
base,
is,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
we
what.
got-
Yeah,
yeah,
we
we just
figured
said
it out.
that.
Took us a while, but we got there. Dylan Jackson now up. That was the first out that the Barons were able to get here in the eighth. Hallman not really helping out his staff. 4 batters faced, all of them reached. A hit and 3 walks.
Not great, Bob.
No. The 0-1 to Dylan Jackson. Popped up on the infield. Infield fly rule is in effect. Neighbors makes the catch. 2 outs. Some breaking news in the sports world. Newly acquired star, for many people, the greatest player who has ever played the game of soccer, Lionel Messi, for Inter Miami, came on as a sub and scored a 94th minute free kick winner in stoppage time. You can't write this. You can't write this stuff. You can't. Falskin goes after the first pitch, pops it up. Hernandez gets under. He just played first base, so he's comfortable taking pop-ups and gets out of the inning. Pretty good stuff from Hernandez there. Entered the game with bases loaded jam, only allowed 1 run to come across.
Before we go to break, look
Speaking of jam,
look at the roll by Hernandez to get the ball back onto the mound. That's elite stuff.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Outstanding.
We'll head to the top of the ninth. It's going to be DJ Contreras coming in to shut the door in the ninth. Top of the ninth, last chance for the Barons. They got to put up 5 to stay in this ball game. DJ Contreras on the mound for the Oaks. It's his mission to not let that happen. Alex Laureano, first one to face Contreras. 1-1 count. Just in case things get out of hand here, Jackson Jordan is down in the Oaks bullpen. 1-1 from Contreras, swung on and missed. 1-2. The 1-2 is lifted into center field. Moyer gets under it for out number 1. A round of applause from the crowd. The Oaks are 2 outs away.
Number 23, Thomas Williams.
Contreras, only 8 innings of work this summer. Alonso Zuniga was removed as the DH after Hallman was removed, and Hernandez, who was playing first, came in to pitch. Thomas Williams up for his first at bat. 0-1 count. 0-2. Bless you. Contreras is 0-2. In the dirt, smothered by Durfee. Once again, the Barons bus is backing up. Must have not liked how he parked earlier. 1-2 count to Thomas Williams. Contreras comes home. Once again, dug out of the dirt by Durfee. "12 runs, 8 hits, 1 error for the Oaks. 7 runs, 10 hits, 2 errors for the Barons as Williams fouls another one off. Still 2-2.
Putting together a pesky AB here. Found a couple pitches off, making Contreras work a little bit.
Over 3 hours of game time here today, as Williams hits one over to the second baseman, Leehey, for out number 2. Doesn't matter where Leehey is playing on the infield. He makes it look easy wherever he's at. And the Oaks 1 out away from getting out of here with a win.
Right fielder, number 28, Jacob Klanowski.
Jacob Klanowski now up for the Barons. Last chance here. Goes after the first pitch, fouls it back right at my face.
Heads up there.
Cameron was scared, but there's a net there. He'll be all right. The 0-1. Driven in the left field. Carrillo on his horse, gets back, gets under it, and makes the catch. A 1-2-3 inning here in the 9th for DJ Contreras. Closes out the game strong. The Oaks win 12-7. They'll head down to Compton tomorrow to complete this 4-game series. And we'll be back on Sunday against the Philippines national team here at Sparky Anderson Field. Bit of a long one here today. 12-7 your final score for everyone here on the Oaks broadcast. Cameron Deck, Connor Mullen, Austin Gregory, Josh Mechanick here with us in spirit. I'm Sammy Holladay. We'll see you guys tomorrow night down in Compton.